What's up, everybody? It is Matt from ElectricAllWheel, and we are going to make some modifications to the new Lectric XPeak. Very first thing is we are going to test this stem extender to get some elevation on these handlebars. Also, we are going to add the ElectricAllWheel thumb throttle kit for Lectric so that we can get a vertical thumb throttle here in replacement of this horizontal thumb throttle. I do anticipate that we'll have to make a little bit of space, so we might have to loosen this shifter as well as the brake and then move them in just a tad. There is a gap here in space, so it shouldn't be very much. However, we do anticipate having to do that, and at the same time, we will likely change the grips. The grips are included with the thumb throttle kit, so check that out. We will leave links to everything we use in the description of the video below. And then from there, we're not going to mock it up. We already have one. A suspension, seat post, and seat replacement for the XPeak. So keep that in mind. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary. And if you're in the area, e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida, get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. Check out all of our other dual battery videos on the channel for ElectricAllWheel. And then check out our website, ElectricAllWheel.com. Here we go. Just laying it down to the side. Now for this one, I don't know my spacer situation yet, so I am going to check it out. I'm going to leave a couple of the larger ones on there. I think I may need only one. For this, I'm going to see what the depth is. Yes, I do need a spacer. Then I'm going to bring up my handlebars. Looks about right. And then the original setup had one of the larger rings on it, and then the bolt-in cap. So we're going to take the long one from the new extender. So you really got to play around to get the center in the star nut to get this to go in. And sometimes they're even offset, so you got to look out for that. You may have to go in at an angle because the star nut wasn't put in straight. So this is the point where you want to start paying attention to the alignment of your handlebars with your front wheel. Make sure it's very straight. We'll get this decently tight on there. And then use some of the friction to make the final alignment for the straightness. Make sure that the bike wasn't picked up so none of your components are out and the spacing's not off. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten down all of these pieces. Don't strip these, it's very important. I have a really good alignment here So these are in line. Out of this setup, I had one spacer ring, actually two. So a smaller one and then a larger width. First thing we're going to do is see about getting these end caps off so they're less of a pain in the butt. There we go. And I did that so it doesn't damage them, and then I can put them back on with the Lectric branding. So when I pull them out, I just walk them out so it doesn't damage the outer edge of the cap, and then I can reuse the Lectric ones. If you have the patience and the time, save them. If you don't, don't. A lot of people talk about how to use these, the air hose method, everything else. They're just a big pain in the butt. But they are the cheapest ones available. Right there on that, so that's what I want to be dipping into. All right, so that's loose. Let's go ahead and get the wrap all the way off down for the throttle. Just make sure you got the right one. And we're going to unplug that. There we go. Throttle is removed. For the shifter, it's a screwdriver head right underneath. Pretty sure it's Phillips. And it is. We're just going to shift in like 1/4 of an inch. Loosen our brakes. We're going to put our replacement throttle on. And then our new grips. There we go. So I know it's flush. The handlebars are out right here. I'm going to tighten this down. That. Now I'm checking my brake angle versus this one, and I like that hold. And then thumb throttle, I like to have a natural rest with my thumb here. So what does it feel like when I just bring this, a natural open, down to the thumb throttle? If I'm barely touching, that's it. If it feels like I have to bring my thumb up, I like to rotate that down so it's more of a natural rest. And then there's an Allen screw on that thumb throttle as well. Don't forget your shifter. Tighten that down. And we're going to plug in the thumb throttle. So there is a bit of excess length because this is intended for multiple varieties of electric bikes. So keep that in mind. We're just going to kind of wind it up right here and then wrap it up with the cable wrap. Perfect. Go ahead and test. Has one. Perfect. Now we're here. I'm looking at the length. The length looks like it's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and get this loosened up and get it slipped on there. All I'm doing right now is just loosening up these ends so it will slip on. It's flush down here, so that's good. Now I'm testing, making sure that the palms of my hands fit in the same position here on the handlebars. And then tighten it up. Don't forget all the extra effort for the electric caps. I'm just going to reuse those. Last, but certainly not least, is the seat theft. We're just going to go ahead and flip this. There are many videos that show you how to install a seat, so I'm just going to show you how it looks. This is the fattest giddy up with suspension and a suspension seat post. We're taking this from our 3.0. It was originally on our 1.0, so keep that in mind too. Well, there you have it. We have successfully upgraded this Lectric XPeak e-bike. We had a little bit of a set change thanks to our friends of bottlewood.net in Tarpon Springs. They brought through the chairs, so we had to get everything organized and do it so that we could finish this out. Wanted to take you through a couple things. The diameter of the seat post here is 31.6. Let me go ahead and get that measurement. There you go. So that's going to be what you're looking for if you decide not to go with this suspension seat post. We'll post up the Cloud9 seat, this seat post, and possibly others. If you can't find exactly what you want, look for a shim that is sized up to the diameter of the post that you're after, which would be 31.6. We're pretty happy with the thumb throttle. I am not a big fan of the horizontal thumb throttle on this bike, so that was an immediate change. There's a reason why we brought it out, and people are still getting these thumb throttles and adding them to their electric bikes. Does not work with the X Premium, so keep that in mind, but it will work with the others. You do see here we've got our dual battery balancer kit just hanging. We're doing some other testing, so please don't mind that, but I gotta tell you, one of the best additions is this stem extender, this Wake stem extender. We will leave a link for that in the description below, but it makes all the difference bringing the positioning upright. And just rather than over, so original position was here, and now I'm getting here, which I really like. Must say again, you guys, the fender thing and the feet, I know that that's floating around in the comments. I will see how it affects me in the coming days, but it's a thing. I have big feet, but it's still bothersome. And I know that a lot, actually Richard Lewis, who runs one of the groups on Facebook, went back and checked, and it seemed as though a lot of the testing or the film testing was done without fenders. So it'll be interesting to see the response to that. I think perhaps the fender stays could be shortened so that the fender comes into the wheel just a little bit more. I mean, we're talking less than 2 inches of clearance off the edge of the pedal, so it's a little bit dicey. Other than that, we are very happy. Got a big seat for those long rides, suspension seat post, thumb throttle from ElectricAllWheel with the grips, and then we've got a stem extender, and I think there's still even enough room to get it up a little bit further, so if you want to get a little bit longer one, it will work. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the Tampa Bay area, e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida, get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. Check out all our other videos for dual battery accessories. We will talk to you next time.